Hi, my name is Alessio. I'm here with Rescue, a feature documentary about rescuing animals from the front lines of Ukraine.
How did you navigate the war?
We thankfully, Tamara is a producer. She's from Ukraine, and so she helped with the logistics, and we were able to get press passes and go all the way to the front lines. And we found stories of rescuers, individuals and organizations, locals and foreign people that um, they just go in all the way to the front lines and rescue the animals that are left behind
Oh my
without
God.
distinction of species. It's not only cats and dogs, it's also farmed animals, pigs, goats, horses, bunnies, all kinds of animals.
How are they getting lost or what's happening to them?
Yeah, so it's a bit, it could happen for different reasons. I guess one of the most common reasons is because people are dying. People get bombed, artillery, drones, missiles, and the animals are left behind by themselves. That's one case. Another case is when people are forced to evacuate right away and they can't, like there's panic, there's fear, and they just have to run away and they can't take their animals with them. And so they call these organizations to go and take their animals out of those places.
Oh, it's so sad.
And then also Russians are hitting farms, local farms, big farms, and so there's thousands of cows and pigs that are killed. Like it's happening today as well. It's been going on for 5 years, and so we thought to share those stories because personally we didn't know what to find. Obviously it's a war zone, and it's the first time that I'm filming in a war zone. But besides all the obviously the horror and the pain and the suffering, we also found a lot of compassion, a lot of unity, people coming from all over the world, and so
To
it's
save the animals.
save the animals, yeah, to
Okay.
document what's happening. You have photographers, you have medics, you have all different kinds of people that are applying their skills to help each other, humans and animals, and that like when I tell you, you think, okay, it's a war movie, and obviously there is that, but to me and to us, it's a very hopeful film because you see the in the worst of in the worst situation, you see the best of humanity and people that are, you know, um,
Exactly.
risking their lives.
Caring for animals, the defenseless.
Yes, it's not their fault, obviously, and they're victims of humans.
You find these animals trapped?
Yeah, sometimes it's going inside apartment buildings that are almost collapsing, and you know, um, sometimes jumping through windows because the apartments are locked. Sometimes people are able to, they're not able to, but actually want to give them away because, like Russians are advancing and they know the village is going to get occupied. And some people do that in advance, they call them out. And most of the time is people just run away. And so, yes, you have to kind of like break into houses or jump in. And obviously the animals are incredibly scared. So when you approach them, like, I've seen both sides. Some animals that they feel that you're there to help them and they run to you. Other animals that are literally, I got so many bites and scratches from, especially cats are very difficult to.
Yeah.
But also, goats. We rescued in our film. There is a beautiful story about a goat that was born with legs defects. She couldn't walk, and this family had goats, cats, and dogs, and they were about to get occupied, and so they wanted to give all their animals away. And so, and you're in that kind of situations where you have bombs or artillery falling, like very close to you. And the hardest thing right now with technology is the drones, FPV
Yeah.
drones. It's it's becoming almost impossible now. Like while I was producing the film, so we filmed for a couple of months, and then I was supposed to go back to LA where I am based to edit the film, and within 2 weeks I was already feeling out of place, and I didn't feel comfortable editing the film in LA while I was editing film with people, risking their lives. And so actually I decided to move to Ukraine, and I moved there for 5 months, and I edited the film while I was helping the rescuers with evacuations. I just wanted to put myself in their shoes and feel what they were feeling to tell an honest story,
Yeah.
because it's easy to sensationalize, war, and we did not want to do that. We wanted to be just witnessing what was happening and share their stories. And so actually, I was hit by a drone 2 times while I was there, and Yeah, and to me, obviously, it's probably the scariest thing that I went through.
What happened?
We were driving through on this road, and it's hard to explain. That's why we made a movie. But basically, Russians are now hitting every single target that they can find. It doesn't matter if you say if you write volunteers on your car. It doesn't matter. They hit everybody, locals, foreigners. Like, and so we were driving on this tiny road, and there was a burned car on the side, and clearly we know that there are drones around. And it was luckily it was at the beginning of the evacuation, so we didn't have any animals yet. And so we're driving down this very tiny road, and there's no like you can't go out. It's like it's kind of fields on the side, and you have to keep looking in the sky. And out of nowhere, I was looking back and then side and then front, and right in front of me we saw an FPV drone coming straight at us. And Ruslan, one of the rescuers we feature in our film, I started yelling, and then he swerved a little bit, luckily, and the drone hit the back of the car and shot at everything in the back. But you can only go with we were wearing armors and helmets. So I remember just my head ringing for maybe 30, 40 minutes after that. But the thing that struck me the most is that he just wanted to keep going. And so we actually got back in the car and kept going, and we ended up rescuing about 30 animals in that evacuation. So it's what
Risking your life for this.
yeah, but I am lucky enough to be able to go back and leave the country. Some people can't. It's their home, and that's
Yeah.
what they've been going through for almost 5 years now.
What are these drones doing? Do they have guns?
No, they're
attached
actually like kamikaze drones. They have
or
like a
bombs?
grenade. Yeah, they have explosions underneath, and they just hit and explode.
Did you see that?
Oh yeah, it exploded right.
Oh, it did explode.
Yeah, it destroyed back of the car while we were in it.
Oh, I didn't realize that it was a bomb that exploded. Okay.
And we knew that, and
Yeah.
it's that's what they do. And
Oh my God.
there is no like the only way is to basically just jump out of the car, which we did, but it was too late because they tried to hit cars to prevent people from going back. And so
Yeah.
like usually you just try to get out and spread out. One person goes there, one person goes there. It's the kind of it's very hard to express, and that's why we wanted to document it, because these people are going through that every day. Like I was just back there last week, and I was in Kiev, and we had this massive attack where there were maybe about 20 missiles and 50 or 60 drones, and they targeted a church and a movie studio and apartment buildings. And this is what people have been going through, and they're so resilient because they have to keep going, they have to keep living, they have to have money to afford their rent and everything. So it's very surreal because it's a beautiful country, beautiful people,
Yeah.
incredible animals that are enduring this, but they need support. And so we wanted to raise awareness. And
Are people scared every day, or have they toughened up in a way?
I mean, if you have a missile coming at you, you'd be scared. There's no way not to be scared.
Yeah.
But like imagine going through that.
But it
for
becomes
years.
a way of life.
Yes.
They've been going through this
Yes.
for years now.
Yes.
Did you see people dying around you? Yeah. It's such a waste. Such a waste of life.
Yeah, one of the people in our film. This is the first time I'm saying this, but he actually passed a month ago, and he was incredible. He was a soldier who fought. His name is Roman. He was a soldier who fought for Ukraine when the war started, and he received a Medal of Honor because he helped liberate a village. But when we met him, he wasn't in the military anymore, PTSD is real. I experienced it myself in my little bit,
How do you experience it?
depression. When I went back to LA after filming for 2 months, it was just nothing really makes sense. Like you go to the store to buy cereal, and it just doesn't really it's just so difficult to express. And mine is such a small percentage of what they've been going through. So I can only imagine. I empathize. But yeah, it's difficult to get out of that situation. Imagine you go through that for so long, and then you're in a safe place where everything is pretty, and it just doesn't work. It takes time. It takes healing. It take support. And so we wanted to make this film to obviously to talk about the animals because we saw a lot of films coming out of Ukraine after the war, and rightly so because it's so important. There have been such great documentaries, but we also noticed a lack of stories about animals, which like they're innocent victims.
They are.
Yeah, and so we hope that this film, will raise awareness and help those people, with donations or adoptions or physical support for whoever can go. I know it's difficult, but I feel like I've seen, people. We are in the film. We have somebody from Switzerland, somebody from Bulgaria, from Italy, and they say also in the film when we talk to them that they know that they're privileged. They know they don't have to do this, but they want to. At the same time, we have local people that are doing that to defend their own. So I think it's a good way to also show a bit of broader picture of just humanity, just humans. What if this was happening in my country or in your country? Wouldn't we want people to come and help?
Yes, of course. What do you do with the animals after?
So they go to, so depending on the organizations, there are several organizations and we feature three. But I would say like there's obviously more organizations than people that we weren't able to, to film when we were there. So with the film, we open a dialogue and we feature these incredible organizations: Animal Rescue Kharkiv, Cat Space Ukraine, and Refugio Italia KJ2. And they basically have shelters. So they take the animals to their shelters, which is further away from the front lines. And it doesn't end there. Obviously there is a process of finding adoption.
They rehabilitate them.
Yeah, so like Cat Space Ukraine, Petya, she works with cats with PTSD because cats experience PTSD as well.
What happens to a cat when they have PTSD?
They're scared, they attack you, they don't,
They get
feel safe.
aggressive.
Yeah, they're very aggressive, yeah. Actually, yeah, that's one case, or the cats that go, become depressed and actually die. I've witnessed cases of cats that felt, because you're taking them away from their home, from their family, from their companions. So it's a tough process, and there's hundreds and hundreds of animals and thousands that are. I believe Animal Rescue Kharkiv within 4.5 years have rescued over 26,000 animals. That's an incredible number.
Yes.
From just a few people doing that every day.
Wow.
And so yeah, they transport them. If their companion humans are still alive and they have capacity to take them, so they go back to their family in a different place, safer place. But they also transport animals throughout Europe. So it's yeah. So the evacuations are not it. Obviously they're the most important part to take them out, but then they have to be rehabilitated. They have to be taken care of. Andrea from Refugio, I think right now he has over 500 animals that have been taken, from the war. There was a case of the zoo was hit last year, and many animals were, So there is so many, there's so much going on, and we hope to just open a dialogue and people can, look into this organization, support them. Asked one, and I searched for him for like as much as I could because it was getting dark and you can't be there in the dark. So
Why not? Because of the drones and
yeah,
the
it
attacks.
gets worse and worse.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
they have curfews. Yeah, actually, there's forced evacuation in certain areas, and only military can go. So I had that case where I wasn't able to take a dog out, and they stayed with me. It was a puppy, and this family got saved, and the little puppy's kind of like ran away scared, and then ever since that moment, I promised myself not to let any animal go, and so I grabbed the cat, because this is something that I like to talk about actually, because some people may not understand that to get an animal out, sometimes you have to be harsh, because if you don't take the animal is dead. You have one chance. And so sometimes you have to act fast, and you may not be able to be so gentle as you would in a normal situation. But that is saving a life right there, because the animal will have a chance to live a safe life. So there may be some moments where, like in the film, there is a dog that's very, very scared, and it's night, and it's, there's bombing around, and the dog is panicking, and it was kind of a difficult rescue. And but the dog was saved, and then I lost track of that because we kept filming. But I recently, I checked in to see how was that dog, and it's a she, and she's taking care of little puppies that are rescued. So she's sweet, and she's like
Really?
laying around, letting people pet her. And to me, it's such a stark contrast of what we witnessed when we rescued her.
Ah,
But if we didn't do that, if Ruslan, if the rescuers didn't do that, she wouldn't be here and she wouldn't be taking care of with her puppies. So it's,
that's so sweet.
yeah,
The puppies lost their mother.
yes,
And the dog,
takes care of
she's
them.
just taking it
She's
like they're
the
her
mother
own.
for many puppies that come around the
Yeah.
shelters. Yeah,
And she
Zena.
licks them, looks after them.
Yes,
So
and she loves people
sweet.
now. She goes and hangs out with people, and
Do you think she's overcome her PTSD?
yeah, it took a bit, but yeah.
Do they? Do you think the best way for them to overcome it is love, just comfort and
Yes, there is a lot. Like these people, they spend. It's not like you take them out and you put them in a safe place. They actually do spend time to connect with them.
yeah,
They understand that they also have PTSD. They understand that they're scared. They don't know where they are. They lost their companion humans, and so
oh
it's a lot of work. And that's why we also launched a donation campaign on our website for our film, where people can go and donate if they can, and the money will go directly to those organizations because there is so much that they do. And also, like their cars get destroyed very often, and they have to, have new equipment, and the technology keeps advancing. So they have, there's drone detectors that are needed. There's a lot of
yeah.
expensive gear as well. Like even, like the armor and the helmet. It's just.
Have you always loved animals? From
Uh,
show the camera.
she was my cat. She,
It's beautiful.
Snoopy.
And the blue is that for? Is there significance there?
Yeah, it's just
The sea.
yeah, I love the contrast between water and fire. Like fire and water. I just feel like we're so much contrast in the world. Like I said, like in the war, I found love and compassion. I just feel like that we are so made of, we're so split sometimes,
Yeah.
and
Capable of
capable of.
such goodness, but then such evil.